They also showed the Senior Bowl, and I thought that was a little odd. Like, we're going to go to the East-West Shrine Bowl, we're going to go to the Senior Bowl, but it was more like, here's a shot of a conversation there, as opposed to showing what he did and how he evaluated talent at the Senior Bowl or at the East-West Shrine Bowl. I would like to see a little more of that than the chit-chatting. The chit-chatting was interesting, but I would have liked to see, like, how he evaluates players and stuff like that. Again, that's the competitive issue with the Hard Knocks. You don't want to give that out. But yeah, Joe Schoen with Dan Morgan, the GM of the Panthers, and introduced to Dave Canales, the new Panthers head coach, who was the offensive coordinator last year for the Bucs. Dan Morgan kind of, sarcastically mentions the fact that he and Shane talk literally every day. They talked about how their families are very close and that these guys even vacation together, which I knew they had a relationship. I didn't realize they vacation together. That's not just like close. That's like we're besties, and there might be a pineapple in our door when we go on a cruise. I'm just saying, like,
upside down.
I listen. I wouldn't mind going to a vacation with friends. I'm not saying that's weird, but if you're doing it on a regular basis, that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I've just never had somebody like, you know what? Let's go on vacation with this person, and let's go on vacation again with that person, and let's go on vacation again with that person. Am I crazy?
I mean, I understand it, but I don't do it personally.
Yeah, like I said,
it's one thing to do with the significant other, but like, and your family.
Oh, obviously, the significant other, and like, kids, and blah blah blah, like that.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously you vacation with those people.
But
I'm just saying, a guy that's like a work colleague that you've known for a few years. I don't know if that's the way you do it. Just saying, pineapple. What? Who said that? Who knows if they're swingers? They're probably not. Anyway,
for the pineapples.
Joe Schoen then jokes and asks him and Bill's GM Brandon Beane, who of course he worked with in Buffalo, if they wanted to trade up to 6. He almost seemed to be bragging about having the 6th overall pick, which I thought was a little bit of a weird flex, considering how we got the 6th overall pick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we got the 6th overall pick. Yeah, we sucked.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, but there's also a dig because these talkers to the Panthers, who should have had the 1st overall pick.
Yes.
And who was not in the 1st round. So it's kind of a dig of like,
it was
yeah.
I felt like.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it's definitely more towards the Panthers. Let's be real.
I'm just saying, it just seems a little bit of an odd, weird flex there. The Dan Morgan then also asked Shane if he wants to give him 2 1s for Burns, which is a little interesting. And then he kind of even goes down in the initial conversation. It says 1 and something. So, it kind of seemed like, again, we don't know too much behind the scenes, obviously. There's no Hard Knocks Panthers, but it's like, it almost seems like they really wanted to get rid of Burns, and they really wanted to get rid of him rather quickly.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, you're in the additional negotiations, which are kind of said casually, and you've already gone down in value. Like, we talked about how, like, Panther fans are already a little upset hearing about some of the stuff with the Burns trade now. I'd be pissed. Like, could you imagine the opposite side of this? Like, let's say Dexter Lawrence wants to leave town, and you're like, okay, Dexter Lawrence wants to leave.
2 number 1s.
Would you give me 2 2s? Okay, how about 1 and something else? Like, that's the first conversation Joe Schoen had with somebody. I'd be pissed as a Giant fan. Like, absolutely pissed. Like, that's not the way you negotiate. You shut up and let them talk.
100%.
It's like buying a car. He who talks first loses. Say your piece and shut up. Even I know that. I can never shut up. Saying, like, that's
obviously.
Like, that's the way it is. Like, that's what the rule is. So yeah, obviously we knew that move was not overnight. That was obviously a long talked about process there. Dan Morgan, like I said, he's gonna get some slack for that. But Joe Schoen mentions his grandmother lives apparently in South Bend and loves Notre Dame quarterback Sam Hartman, who I believe went to the Saints. I have to look at him to see. I think he went to the Saints. But she told him that Hartman is cute and said to him, "I may be 93, but I ain't blind." I thought that was the funniest, absolute funniest comment of the whole show there. By the way, he signed actually with the Commanders. I looked up the Commanders who signed him.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.